My name is Cleveland Brown, and I am proud to be back in my hometown with my new family. Art is alive. Welcome back, everybody. I am your host, Chris Atertua, and today I have another very special guest. He's a good friend of mine. We go way back to high school. I would like to welcome the OG Jose Torres.
Hello.
Jose, welcome to Art is Alive.
I'm glad to be here. It's been exciting to see your journey on Art is Alive.
Oh yeah, man, I appreciate it. And so today the topic's going to be a little different. Usually we've talked about production and theater and cameras and all that. But I want to focus more so on men's mental health because it's a topic that I feel like more people are talking about, but we haven't really...
It hasn't settled.
Yeah, it's not the norm just yet. So
I think it's just in a terrible state of mind right now, honestly. Like, people are getting more aware of it, but at the same time, too, is it really just because people are pushing it or because people actually care about men's mental health, you know?
Yeah, I think as men and even as like an entrepreneur, you just get into this state of why put that on anyone else or just fucking
like suck it up.
Suck it up, be a man, or like just you can't talk about anxiety or depression. It's like, bro, just work.
Yeah, just work through it. It'll solve itself, and it's like it's not that easy.
Yeah,
and then people are like, "Oh, you're gonna give them the ick, man? What?"
No, there's some people out there that think like, I don't want my man to cry.
Yeah.
That's weak.
That's weak. Oh,
I was talking to a friend of mine that I reconnected, and we were discussing like how important it is for like men to talk about their fucking feelings. Because if you keep this bottled inside, man, it's like we're like time bombs, basically.
And it's like you never know what's gonna set you off. It could be like you step it on a pebble and boom, your world's over. It's all just all you.
I mean, it differs from like person to person because not everyone's gonna like lash out, but they'll still carry that metaphorical bag of rocks, and they'll just
it'll wither away.
Literally, that's a good way to put it, is wither the fuck away.
I see a lot of people always saying like, "Oh, it sucks that he didn't reach out, he didn't do this and that," but it's like,
it's a two-way street.
Exactly.
It's like even if your friends don't appear to be fine, still check up on your homies.
Exactly. You need to, because you never know. I do it with my friends I don't even talk to for a couple months. I just always hit them with like a 6-month check, like, "Hey, bro, you doing good? Like, how's life treating you?"
Yeah.
And even David, I talked to David like 2 days ago, and it's like, "Yo, I'm glad we had this. It's been a while." I'm like,
yeah, it just kind of, obviously we're not therapists, so we're not like curing our homies, but it takes out one little rock from that bag that you're carrying.
And it's like it's always nice to know that, get a little checked of, I'm not bothering this person. It's just I know they generally care, and I can go to them if need be.
Yeah, for sure.
Or like one of my boys, Kyle, he just texted me today, and he was like, "Yo, I just hope you know how far you've come. Like, I'm proud of you. If anything, I'm here." And even like those little things like that, it like
wording is everything too.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm proud of you. Keep going. You got this.
And you don't hear that a lot from men. You know? Or like even from like, you'll hear from like maybe your parents at best.
Yeah.
And it just sucks, man, because it's like me and you are like that, but it's like, again, like you said, like you can have a homeboy for 12 years and you guys can never even know what's really going on. You know? And it's happened a couple of times with like me and Carlos, like you even.
Wait, how do you feel about like therapy?
I don't know.
Is it for everyone?
I don't think it's for everybody.
What do you mean?
I think it's more like I think you should try it, but I don't think you should be forced into it. Like you should try it, and if it's not working out, try it a couple more times, because not everybody's the same, especially with therapists. But don't do it just because people keep saying you need therapy, you need this and that, because at the end of the day, it's like...
But it's also like that you need to want to change before doing anything. Like if you just go to a therapist and you're like resisting like help
there's no point.
While they're talking to you, it's like you're just pissing in the wind at that point.
You're blowing your money away, and you're gonna have you're gonna have a negative attachment to therapy because you yourself are not ready for therapy.
Yeah.
So it's a very balanced thing. You gotta see.
But it also begs the question of like, as guys, we're kind of taught, and in societal views or whatever the fucking term is, it's like we just learn to mask it or keep working.
100%. Like I know I would before I would just go back to my work, or I'll just study harder, or I'll just do
play
this.
video
and
games,
yeah,
whatever outlet. Then in extreme cases, like people do drugs, people
Yeah.
fucking drink their problems away.
Oh, I know a lot of people who do that nowadays.
I'm
When I
like-
talk to them, I'm like, yo, you good? And it's like, yeah, there's nothing another shot can't fix. And I'm like,
Oh, man.
bro. And it's hard. Like, you can actually go up to like one of your friends and you just be like, yo, you can talk to me. And they'll be like, yeah, I know. But they actually won't feel like they can, you
Yeah.
know, like it's always like, it'll feel like very surface level. And then it's hard to differentiate. Like, does he actually care? Is he just saying that? It's like a whole,
Yeah.
what is it? Two sides of the same
Oh,
coin?
two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. Especially with like how social media now is like portraying girls and like just people in general are like, oh, he's actually showing his feelings. Ooh, that's
They're
not
like,
a man.
oh,
That's
he's a
ugh.
bitch. He's a fucking crybaby.
He's a crybaby.
like,
He's too
No,
sensitive.
a real man talks about his feelings. A real man takes the necessary steps to better himself.
Yeah.
I think that's a fucking giga chad right there.
It's a giga shot, and it's like you can't really, even inside like, especially inside relationships, if you can't talk to your partner, especially as a man, about how you're feeling, you can't grow. And if your partner is shutting that down, then there is just no room to grow.
Yeah.
And a lot of that's another thing. I feel like if their partner projects like you can't talk about your feelings, then you're gonna shut down and go deeper into it, and it's just gonna.
Yeah, 100%. It just becomes a recipe for disaster. It creates a domino effect.
It's a cycle.
God forbid if you have kids, like that'll leak to your
Oh
children.
yeah, 100%. It'll leak eventually, and like you won't even notice it's leaking
Yeah.
until it's too late. You know.
And it's like it's a good segue into like also finding the right person that understands your way of communicating in a relationship.
Yeah, 100%.
Because if they can't tell like, oh, you're about to blow, so maybe I should talk to him later. If you can't like read that, that's a fight inbound, doggy.
Yeah, like especially if you're like verbalizing like, hey, I just need some space. And they're like, oh, baby, I'm here. What do you want to do?
So
It's
finding like that,
It's a balance.
that piece of the puzzle that really like connects with you, and you're able to be like, hey, I need my space right now. Give me a couple minutes, or give me the afternoon, or however long you need. Not too long though. And then
You can't let it simmer, but you can't also just expect it. You got to let it cool down.
yeah,
basically.
keep it lukewarm.
Yeah, but you can't just like, just screw off, because then it'll feel like the other person doesn't care. But then you also can't hound them because they're trying to sort their thoughts.
Yeah.
It's like it just really depends. You got to really know the person, but again, you can't know the person unless you're willing to talk about it,
Yeah.
and that's just it's a balance.
So when do you think like is the best time when should someone see a therapist?
Definitely when you're thinking about like harming yourself, I think that's gonna be a big wake up call. But I think like it'll be on the days where you wake up and like you're low on energy, and you start like waking up with negative thoughts almost immediately, and it's just like it'll be like very minute little things that just kind of build up and make it bigger. But it's also hard to see that. So having a good friend group, having a good people around you, being like, hey man, you seem like a little bit down from your usual self, and then if I don't want to say have an open mind because it's kind of hard to accept that about yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm down. Like, I actually, like, there is actually something wrong. But you got to have a balance of listening to them or kind of like really listen to yourself at days.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. I think if you're starting to like mask things, if people are constantly checking up on you and you're kind of just like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about it.
But we're so used to that too. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
Like, so used to being like, oh yeah, we're good. And all right, yeah, everything's fine. And it's like low key, everything's just not fine.
Yeah.
I just feel like me personally too. Like I'm usually like, oh yeah, I'm good, bro. Like, don't worry about it.
Mhm.
I'm just tired.
Yeah.
That's the number one. I'm just tired.
Yeah.
You know.
But recognizing like, yeah, I think you said it earlier, like recognizing and being like completely honest with yourself. That's another thing, is always be fucking honest with
Mhm.
yourself. Because if you like keep masking shit, if you keep hiding shit, it will all come back to.
It'll just blow up.
Yeah.
It'll loop. It's a
Exactly.
cycle, bro. It'll just continue the cycle.
Yeah.
But it's hard to even notice, like, I got to be truthful with myself. Like, am I really being truthful with myself? Am I really feeling tired, or am I really just at my limit? You
Yeah.
know, like where I need to change something or do something. But the first step is just being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Because you can even find excuses for yourself. Like, not going to the gym, or no, nothing's wrong. I'm fine. I'm just, making excuses for why you're feeling like that.
So I was gonna ask, what are some helpful tips or like advice you would give to someone that's like struggling, or like they need some place to vent or to.
It's different for everybody. I feel like
I think universally the gym is excellent.
The gym is
Because
always
if you,
excellent,
If you
bro.
look good, you feel good, you get that boost of confidence.
I mean, it's that, and like, there's actually a lot of things that go with the gym. Like, your body just releases so much, like, what is it?
Endorphins,
Endorphins, I don't know.
stress, whatever.
Whatever it is. Gym is really good. Just go outside, take the sun. You know, they actually need vitamin D, eat a banana. It actually helps boost up whatever chemical imbalance of your happiness. It'll help with that.
Mhm.
Change your environment. Don't stay inside your environment personally.
Yeah.
Like, if you just wallow inside the same environment, then that's just going to keep going and going and going. It's just going to keep cycling. Just take a 5-minute walk. Go somewhere. Go harass your animal, and,
Yeah.
or just like go mess with your sibling. Do something.
Or reach out to a fellow guy or
Yeah.
a friend and just be like, hey, you want to grab coffee? Or hey, do you want to talk? Or can I talk to you? Do you have a minute?
Do you want to go get some food? Do you want to?
You want to go look at comics?
Like, you literally anything to change your environment, I think will help. Sometimes it's hard to do that because you're really like, oh, I'm not in the mood for that. Or this
Yeah,
and
or
that.
like
but,
you get into this routine.
yeah, but I
and
feel
you're
like
oh, I
that's
just need to make money and then everything will work itself out.
yeah. The
It's
money,
like, no, money
money's-
does not solve. It makes shit a lot easier. Don't get me wrong. I love money. Money's great.
but it's not going to keep you happy. It's just not. You can see like a lot of celebrities even nowadays, like they have literally everything inside the world, and they'll still, end up using drugs or kill themselves or X, Y, and Z, and it's because money isn't everything, especially when
Because at their core, I don't know, maybe they didn't have that community. They felt isolated. They felt like just
Alone.
a corporate Hollywood whore.
Or it's
basically.
like, who could I really trust if I'm surrounded by this and that, That's why you got to look at your friends. You got to look at yourself. You actually got to see, like, are these the people who I can count on?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, or you have to actually really think about it, then expand your horizons. Maybe
Yeah.
think about it a little bit more and be like,
or like separate which friends are like your hangout friends versus these are like my go-to,
Yeah.
like
your boys.
your boys. I need to talk to you
Yeah.
like now.
And-
And they'll come running.
And it's hard nowadays, especially since we're out of school, like, we just work.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's a whole other can of worms we could get into. Is like, it can also be lonely.
It's
As
super
a
lonely.
man.
It's super lonely. Because especially, like, if your environment is just, it depends. Like, my environment is super older people that I don't feel like I could really go out and reach them. I'm talking about like 10, 12 years older than me. So I'm kind of like, I don't feel like anybody's going to really understand me. So it makes it hard to talk, make
Yeah.
friends like that. But it's also a good thing because I can get insight from them
Yeah.
compared to, like, let's say you're working at
So
like,
this is someone I can learn from versus this is someone I can really like talk to as like an equal. I guess
exactly,
we'll say.
yeah. Whereas, like, you're going through the same thing as me, and you already gone through this, because the people who already gone through this won't have the same experience as you, but they'll have the, what's the word?
Grit.
It's more like they think it's gonna go that way just because they've already gone through it, but in reality, it's gonna go a different way, like similar situation but different outcomes.
Yeah.
So that's where I say you got to pick and choose, especially with like the older generation, and then the younger generation, they're not there yet. I don't think they're here. Some people are super insightful. They've gone through a lot, and I respect them for that. But sometimes, like, people are brain rotted these days.
Yeah.
Me, every YouTube Shorts, Instagram, TikToks, it makes it. Yeah, just we're going back to what you can do. Just gym is great, running is great, and change your environment. Really get out of your comfort zone. Don't get comfortable with the whole, I'm feeling this way or I'm feeling that way. You just gotta change that.
Yeah.
Even if you don't really want to.
And be open to change.
Yeah, 100%. Because if not, like, you're gonna be stuck. How are you gonna expect things to change when you yourself are not allowing it?
Wait, what's the definition of insanity? Is doing the same thing over and over and then expecting a different outcome?
Yep.
So
You're just driving yourself insane.
yeah, switch it up. Change your job if you have to. Fuck it.
100%. If you're like really comfortable with your job, I understand that, but don't let it take control of your life. I know a lot of people in this day and age that they're good where they are, but it's not allowing them to grow.
Yeah, like you are not. This is my message to men out there everywhere. You are not solely your job.
Mm-mm.
You are so much more than that, dog. You're a fucking beast.
Just be comfortable with yourself.
Hell yeah.
You gotta be comfortable of talking about your feelings. And you can tiptoe. Like, if you don't know if your friend group is gonna accept you for who you are, you just be like,
Then
Go-
fuck them.
Yeah, that,
Not
but-
your friend group.
yeah, but you can also like throw hints, be like, hey, how do you feel about like this subject? And depending on how they answered, you can't talk to them about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then that's when you have to that's when you start differentiating, like, are you my boy or are you just
Yeah. Are you just a hangout friend?
Yeah.
Basically.
It depends.
Yeah. But Jose, I want to thank you so much for your insight. This was a baller ass episode. This was actually fun as fuck.
I know.
Like it was a good gear shift from all the cameras and production talk. And
Well, I'm glad you actually invited me out here. This is actually cool. This is actually pretty lit.
yeah. But appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming by. Love you, man.
Love you.
This has been another episode of
Art is Life.